I've done work in a few different venues, different styles of venues, where anything from cafe work, bistro work, wine bar work, and resorts, and now fine dining. So good progression of industry styles. It brings a sort of well-rounded experience, I think. Margaret River is really where I got the bug for wine and really realised that that's what I wanted to do as a career. Look, every day is different. You know, the attraction into being a sommelier and into the wine world is so varied and so challenging, but also gives great opportunity to travel and to see the world and take your work with you and always have fun, and the stories behind the bottles is what I like. So I've been with Vue de Monde for 2 years now, and I was working on Hamilton Island, and I worked with Shannon up at the race week in August when he goes up and does his cooking classes. And I was getting to the end of my time with Hamilton Island and wanted a new job, so I called Vue de Monde, and because Shannon really took me as a person who was industry leader, and that's where I wanted to go. Within 5 days I was in Melbourne, and in the interview, and the rest is history. Progression through the ranks. Certainly, as a kid in a candy store cellar, there's moments when I walk down through the cellar and wish that we could pop these bottles every day. But I suppose it's hard. It's easy to get lost in the grandeur of the high-end bottles. It's easy to forget about the low-end bottles that are still great products and great wines that still have the same story and the same face behind the bottle, but just don't get the grandeur. But they're the ones that are usually the most interesting styles. Vue de Monde's wine service is very particular. It was very complete in its service as well. We offer the guests the chance to have a look through the cellar and choose their bottles on the way through if they wish. We can have the guests choose off the wine list itself, or what we prefer to do is have our team of sommeliers choose the wine for the guests and take them on a journey around the world and through the world of Australian wine, explaining along the way why we do what we do and why we pair certain wines with what. We get such a varied range of customers through the doors. We get everyone from masters of wine and winemakers and wine importers to people who don't know anything about wine but are coming here to learn from us and sit down and take everything on board. And I think that's the skill of the sommelier, is relating to both styles of guests that we get in. What I enjoy most about Vue de Monde is it's never static. It's always pushing forward, thinking of new ideas and really being the industry leader, where everyone else is always trying to catch up to what we do. And we want the same with the wine side of things as well. We always want to have the latest wine, the best wine, the most quirky wine, but at the same time there are certain aspects within the wine that we don't want to move forward. We want to keep the traditional wine service alive, where you get a real sense of grandeur and theatre out of having your wines presented at the table. I've definitely learned a lot at Vue de Monde. Vue de Monde really put me on the steep learning curve. Yeah, it was very challenging when I first started. It was an environment that I hadn't been in before, in terms of the fine dining sense. But the people that I worked with previously instilled a lot of knowledge in me and a lot of very high standards that I've kept on board, and I want to instill in the staff that I have working for me now. But in terms of the training, I conduct trainings for the staff every fortnight on different topics and in different environments, and we get outside sources in to conduct trainings as well. But we also have the opportunity to send staff away to wineries or interstate with some of our key suppliers who we want to have a great relationship with, and so the staff get an understanding on a real world level with wine in the vineyard, understanding on the bottom line. I don't think there is a better place in Australia to work in terms of the scope that we have with the wine list, the calibre of wine that we have, and the sense of team that we have is incredible. We all work very well together, and we all have a good time during our services, because I think that's the most important part, is to have fun while you work.